friends, I hope that you are having a great Woden's Day. It's Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. You know how much I like that. I am making a junk mail book of backgrounds today. This is stuff that's come into my life the past, I don't know, this came in Tuesday, Monday. This was a Lidl brochure. This was a Lowe's circular. This is another Lidl flyer. So I thought we might take these things and create a little book of backgrounds. No, I'm sure somebody else has done this, but it looked like it might be fun. And oddly, I am in a mood to paint. I'm not a painterly person, y'all, so I'm going, well, you know, if Source is going, hey, paint today, well, then I'm going to paint today. I found myself with a little bit of time because, unfortunately, our farm festival this weekend has moved to next weekend, so we're kind of having a double festival day. I'm just sitting down to do some art, and it's 2:30 in the afternoon, things always seem to accelerate in the afternoon, so I wanted to get something done and get it posted for our art du jour today. This is a great way to use, no matter what you call them, inserts, coupons, flyers, circulars, that kind of thing. And they always come in the mail, don't they? It seems like, you know, usually on Wednesday we get some flyers in the mail and stuff like that. But I was kind of just looking at everything, and this is my idea. I'm going to paint these, not all of them because I don't have time to do that. But I'm going to paint our flyers, our circulars, and I'm going to use this cool Taco Bell bag as a book cover for them. And I'll probably just do that super simple binding, you know, where we just do like tie a piece of yarn here and just tie them all together. I thought it would just be fun as a kind of a wild abandoned little craft for the middle of the week. I also tore up some fabulous napkins, y'all. Nancy sent napkins, and I'll show you some of the ones she sent. I'm so grateful for napkins. That's just not something I ever buy. This is a Nancy napkin right here. And I also have some text tissue paper that was kind of jumbled in a mass at the bottom of some scrap papers that I've been recently working with. So we'll just kind of see what happens here. I don't have out any Mod Podge, so my idea is to kind of use the glue, kind of use the paint as an adhesive, and hopefully that will adhere the napkins onto the pages that we're going to put in our book. So let's get started. I know that this is how it all came together. You know, this kind of tucks into this bag. Isn't that serendipity? That's a nice thing, isn't it? And I'll probably just kind of leave the bag as it is right now. There's really nothing wrong with it, and I might paint it later. But let's try and get started on painting our brochures. I was kind of uncertain whether I wanted to paint the entire brochure or just cut it with a rotary cutter and make it this big. I mean, what you've actually got here is you've got signatures, and you could stack them like this and put them in a background book of backgrounds, but I think that what I want to do is nestle them together. First thing I need to do is cut the bottom off the Lowe's circular so it will open like a book and not like a newspaper. One of my first jobs right out of high school, well, I had two jobs. I've been working since I was 14. And I worked at a pharmacy and then I worked at a radio station. I have a degree in radio and television, and I got that when I was 17. I went to a trade school and then got a job at a radio station, like as I'm finishing high school. So I worked there for a while, and then I went to work for a newspaper, and my job at the newspaper was to determine how many newspapers that we needed to print a day, which is that's a daunting task for, a 19-year-old girl. But anyway, I made a lot of friends, and it was fun, being around the newspaper business and, being in the newsroom and that kind of thing. I am probably going to cut my paper. I'm not a good rotary cutter person, y'all. So probably this is such a random, haphazard, different size journal anyway. I'm not going to be real fussed over cutting everything properly. My friend Leanne has she sure can do this in a very beautiful way. And I'm super grateful to my art angel for sending this to me. I was having issues with my wrist, and oh my gosh, well, that'll work nice, because then we get nice rough edges too, eh? But I'm still kind of getting the hang of it. Don't quite have the hang of it yet. But I sure do like it. I like it very much, especially for cutting fabric. The fabric strips that we use in our hairy paper clips. It's like, oh my goodness, it has like saved my neck. This particular flyer, when I was kind of looking through here, it does not have a middle binding. And it didn't have, usually these are put together with staples, and it didn't have any staples. So if this is a 16-page flyer, I counted 8 and 8. And I'll just put that in here. Well, I can't put that in there. I'm going to have to do it like this. And then I'll just have to see, it was not bound like this. It didn't have staples in it at all. Alright, so let's cut this. I don't know if you guys go to Lidl or not. I really, really like it. I bought an organic dark chocolate bar there yesterday for $2, and that's a chocolate bar that usually sells for $5, which is why I don't eat them very often. They have great prices, and they have unusual items, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of go there. Okay, all right, I've put some paint, and it's just kind of a random mix. I was running out of acrylic paint, so this is acrylic, this is acrylic, this is heavy body paint, this is acrylic. It was just kind of a random mismatch of mix-match. It was a mash of paint. I need to kind of pull these things apart, because as I paint one, my idea is to set it to the side and kind of let it dry. So we'll start off with this, and I'll just give it a little bit of paint. I think that I like making backgrounds. Now often, and this is kind of odd, I just like making the backgrounds. Sometimes I don't even put anything on the background. I like to spread the paint around. I'm not a painter, so maybe it satisfies that part of me that really wants to paint. I would love to be a good painter, but the fact of the matter is that I'm just not. I'm a good constructor. I like to construct things, but painting and being very precise about things that's just not up my alley. Okay, I'm going to put this to the side. And then I will do this one. I was smart today and got myself a washcloth so I can wipe my fingers off and I don't get so messy today. I think it does satisfy the part of me, the art part of me that lives in my body, that really does think that I probably should be a better artist. My art is random, it's haphazard, it is unplanned, it's very unstructured. I like it like that. I tried to be a portrait artist. I tried to take lessons about drawing faces, and I tried to learn to paint, and it did not work for me. We talked this week about things stealing your joy. I think if you try to be just too precise with things, it just steals your joy. And you have to kind of decide for yourself what fun thing is going to work for you. And fun is the operative word. I'm taking this and I'm putting it to the side. And I'll take this right here. And we'll play with that for just a minute. If it's not fun, it's going to eat up your happiness, you know. You aren't going to be too happy with it if it's not just fun. Fun is it. Fun is where it's at. Oh, man, that's a pretty color. That's another thing, you know, painting kind of satisfies my hunger for color and prettiness and brightness and that kind of thing as well. All right, let's put this one to the side. And then let's grab the Lowe's circular flyer things again. When I worked at the newspaper, this was a long time ago, y'all. I'll be 60 in July. So I was 19, 20. So this is 40 years ago that I worked at a newspaper. It was super cool because, and I'm not sure if this happens now, but ladies would come in and they would, sorry, I'm thinking maybe I could put some gel matte medium on here to stick the tissue paper down with, but I'm not sure. I don't know how that works. Ladies would come in on like Saturday night and they would stick inserts in the papers, and they did this all by hand. I'm pretty sure it's not done by hand anymore. It was always kind of this crazy fascinating thing to watch the ladies work and watch them put those inserts into the newspapers. All right, we are just going to take, let me get a hold here, a little bit of tissue paper. My idea here is that the tissue paper would give me a little more stability when I'm going back, and if I choose to do anything with these backgrounds at all. And I might choose to not do it at all. I might choose to make it into, you know, a writing journal or whatever. It's your journal. You do whatever you want to with it. I'm going to try this. This is Gloss Gel Medium. Can you see it? My friend gave this to me, so I'm going to try it. And just, I mean, I've never worked with it before, so I don't know if it'll work or not, but it's a grand experiment, right? So I'm going to put some here. I'm going to stick my reindeer right here. It's a bit wet. I don't know. What do you guys think? And I think that instead of wasting anything, I'm just going to flip this over and kind of pop it down there. I don't know if it's going to stay. All right, we're done with that one. We'll set it over here and let it dry a bit. Let's go back to the original plan while we're trying to see if that works. I'm using my daddy brush today. My daddy gave me this brush, and he has a lot of stuff at his house, and I always walk away with a little treasure or two, and this was, or 10, or a lot of times 20, lots of times a whole Jeep full of stuff. This was a fan brush, and look at the gooey goodness going on here. This is my favorite brush. I just really do love it. Okay, let's get back to this. Look how pretty that's looking now. Nice, eh? Okay, my idea was to kind of stick the tissue paper down kind of randomly with the paint as a sealant. Don't know if that's going to work or not. Alright, well, that looks okay. And I'm going to use some of this color. Do the same thing over here. I think that's going to stick, but we'll have to see. Might not stick. There's something kind of fun just about the rhythm of painting. When I was in 2nd grade, I had a teacher, and her name was Ms. Madrid. You have to think that this was 1965, and I lived in a very, very, very small town, and very traditional small town. And Ms. Madrid wore bright red fingernail polish. She wore these, I can't even describe it. Her clothes were like nothing I had ever seen before. Her husband was the great Bolo. He was a wrestler. She opened my eyes to everything. She was the most kind, encouraging, best teacher that you could ever hope to have at such a young age, you know, when you were feeling kind of out of place, you know, even at a young age, you know, you kind of feel out of place, and you know, you feel like there's something more than that little town, and you know, maybe you would like to experience a little more than that little town, and you know, how's that going to work for you? And you know, I didn't want to grow up and get married and have babies and all that. I wanted to play music, actually, when, you know, it all came right down to it. That's exactly what I wanted to do. That year that we were in 2nd grade changed my life. It totally changed my trajectory as a person. Ms. Madrid, we had an art lesson. Everything was geared toward art. You know, we played music, we sang, we danced, we painted, we colored, we did everything. We did paper mache. And when I was 6 years old, you know, did not even know what paper mache was. And Ms. Madrid encouraged us to think outside the box, you know, think outside the traditional lines. And I made a paper mache elephant, and I made her pink, not gray, not white, pink, like a magenta elephant. And that was it, y'all. That was like the turning point of my whole life. I wanted to be an artist. I wanted to draw. I wanted to paint. I wanted to play guitar. I wanted to travel the world. And it's all because of Ms. Madrid. That year, our class did we performed at the local high school, and it was during the you know, Sound of Music, when that was so popular, and we sang Climb Every Mountain. And I was like, well, this is it for me, dudes, you know. I know what I want to do. I want to sing. I want to stand in front of people and sing, and, you know, I want to entertain. It makes my heart happy. You know, as people talk about not being able to find their bliss. I've heard people say, I don't know one stinking thing that is my passion that would make me happy. And my heart goes out to people like that, because it makes me sad. I have always known what my passion was. I've always felt it. Don't take this wrong. It didn't quite serve me the way that I thought it might. I was a booking agent for a really long time, and then I had a publicity company. I spent a lot of years working on the careers of a lot of people. And in that, you know, I neglected the things that really made me happy, you know, the things that really rang my bells and really made my heart race and my soul soar and that kind of thing. I just stopped doing that sort of thing. And I don't think that we ever can have regrets, because regrets are not healthy. But I think that, you know, I wouldn't be human if I didn't say, boy, I wish I could have done that over. I wish that I would have made a different decision. I wish that I would have pursued the thing that I loved, in spite of everything. But I didn't, and that's okay. You know, that's all right. I'm extremely peaceful with where I am and what has happened and what may happen. I think that in order to improve your life, and of course we all want improvement, right? We all truly do want improvement. That you have to first find your peace. You have to find your peace with where you are and what you're doing and the decisions that you've made. So that's kind of where I found myself at 60, is, you know, really working on finding my peace. I'm discovering that as much as I really do like this gloss gel medium, that it's sticky on newsprint. So I'm thinking that my newsprint section does not need the gel matte medium. It's really sticky. I'm folding this over so hopefully it'll dry and I don't have to step away and dry something, but I just might. I'm really liking the way this is coming along. I like the image here, so I'm going to flip this over. This is much drier than the newsprint. Just keep that in mind if you're gonna try this little art du jour project today. I'll go ahead and paint this. And these flyers, you know, they come in the mail. You can pick them up if you want to. I tend to not pick things up because to me that just adds to the clutter. I like these colors, and it feels good to splash some paint around. It's been a bit of a stressful day as we had to move our big festival. That's okay though. It's supposed to storm and we are not supposed to have a very pleasant weekend weather-wise here. And you always do have to think about the people who are coming out and you know, their safety. You know, the safety of the vendors who are coming out to bring their wares, the safety of the folks who are bringing their children. It's never an easy decision though. We've had to do it a couple times just because of the weather. Oh, I got that one on upside down, but I'm okay with that. I like the way that the napkins are adding texture and thickness to the papers. So I think when it's all dry, it will look super neat. This is just another thing you can do with stuff that comes through the mail. Alright, now I'm kind of anxious to make sure that this is not sticking, because I sure did like the way that this one turned out. I got a little bit of paint here, but oh well, no big whoop about that. I'm going to set this one to the side, and then we'll work on another one. And I'll probably do one more, y'all, and then I will dry what we have and just kind of show you how to nestle these little signatures into the Taco Bell bag. And we'll go ahead and put a string around it. And we'll bind it. I don't think we'll put a closure on it. I think we'll just bind it. I think that will work super neato. This fan brush makes great little flowers. I made my palette on a sheet of business cards. So I kind of did double duty here. I'm putting some color on these business cards, the business card templates, as well as using it as a palette. And that way I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. I'm anxious to pull this up. Argah, I think it's going to stick. Ugh. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Yeah, oh, darn. Okay, sorry. I'm going to fix it. I'm trying to do too much, too fast. There we go. Yeah, that gel matte medium is sticky. So I'm definitely going to have to stop and dry some things here. Alright friends, I think you get the idea. I'm not going to destroy anything else. I'm going to stop and draw some things. Then I'll be back and show you how to nestle your little signatures into your bag. Okay guys, I'm back. I have dried some things. I want to just tell you that the gloss gel on the newspaper is a tedious drying time. So if you want to use that gloss gel medium on newspaper, it's going to take it a really long time to dry. And I won't do that anymore. I'll just use this newspaper to do paint swatches on. I'm not going to try and adhere any sort of napkins or anything to this. It's still sticky. This turned out great. I was able to fix the little patch up there. I went through this brochure, y'all, and glued pages together. Probably should have done that to start with. The thicker pages are going to work a whole lot better in this. And then this one turned out really good. I like the way that it came together on the front, and I like the way that the pages are coming together. I'm still getting sticky right here. I'll probably just fold this over and let it adhere here. Since I'm not kind of married to that image right there, I'll just let that be a page. I am married to this. I do like that. Let's put this little book together. We know that that this is not drawing the way it should. So if it's okay with y'all, I'm not going to use this right now because I think it's just going to gum up our process. while I was drawing things, I also finished the bag. And the way that I finished the bag was I took this palette that I had put a whole bunch of paint on, and I started scraping the paint off, because my intention here is to use these backgrounds for business cards. And I'll show you how, how that's going to look. I think that will make a super neat business card. I'll add my email address, my Etsy store, and other information to this card, and it makes a super, super cool business card. I had so much paint left over that I just went ahead and did another sheet for my business cards as well. I really do like that scraping technique. Our bag goes together like this, with the top this way. It's not as even as the gift bag travel journal that we worked on, but it doesn't matter, because this is your book of backgrounds. So we're going to open this book because it did have the staples in it. I'm going to get as close as I can to the middle of this one. Kind of looks like it right there. And we're going to fold those books together. Find your, I think I'm going to do that the other way. What do you think? Yeah, I kind of like that. All right, I can't remember, is that the way I was doing it? I mentioned that I had a little stressful morning this morning. All right, let's get this kind of lined up. I'm going to grab something out of my Harry paperclip box. Yeah, I like this. All right, I'm going to whack off a length of this. And then I'm going to lash the signatures in. I think I'll tie it at the top. And then that gives me a nice little place to to put some beads, some paper beads if I want. Uh-oh, she kind of snapped off there. Okay, that's all right. I'll fix it later. But you guys can see what I did, and it was junk mail, basically. So you've got a junk mail book of backgrounds, and you're using flyers that you might get through the mail. I think I'm just going to take this a step further, and this is the page that's going to go together. I'm going to take this a step further and probably add some envelopes in here and make them into pockets. I just think it's a fun little thing to do. I like the way that the napkins, I was able to use the napkins to give some heft to this rather thin paper that we have going on here. So there we go, you guys. A junk mail book of backgrounds for Art du Jour on May the 16th. Wednesday. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Please give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video, and comment, and please subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much, y'all. See you tomorrow.